Hey, you! Yeah, you. You here for the show? Cool. Let's go over a couple rules. First, welcome and buckle up. Second, the views and opinions expressed do not reflect the views and opinions of the station sponsors or musical affiliations. And last, but not least, if you should choose to stay, just remember, we warned you, and you're not responsible for the loss of any life, limbs, or mental stability.
Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
And now, broadcasting from the heart of Metro Detroit, you're listening to The Odd Pod.
Double the D's for double the fun.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We are doing it live. You're listening to The Odd Pod on TapDetroit.com. And with me tonight is our own malpractice lawsuit waiting to happen, Mr. Dr. Cookie.
How you doing, Odd?
How's it going?
It's going all right.
It's just funny to say because his name is Dr. Cookie. And I wouldn't trust him to do any medical procedure on me.
Not even pop a pimple?
Nope.
Damn.
But what if we were in, like, zombie apocalypse?
Nobody can hear you.
I know that, but I can't.
So, we're going to be a little more what you're used to, a little more what we were last week. It's going to be a weird show, I'm going to tell you that right now. Cookie, it's good to have you back.
It's nice to be back.
I'm glad you were able to make it.
Yeah. It's always a good time, though.
You got to talk more into that mic.
Oh, boy.
There you go. I might have to turn you up a little
You
more.
just might. I don't know.
You're too quiet.
I'm always a quiet person, though.
Yeah.
Lies!
No, I normally am, though. Ask anyone else. They'll tell you.
She doesn't accept your narrative, apparently.
That's okay. That's her opinion.
So we've got a bunch of different stuff to talk about tonight. First and foremost, I do want to wish our fearless leader, Planky, a happy birthday. He is currently at the Tigers game for his birthday, and we wish him a very, very happy birthday.
Not allowed to know?
No.
Oh,
we're
that's not a good sign.
Say. Yeah. No, actually, Planky was here last weekend for
was he?
the fire.
Okay.
And we were sitting there talking, and he had mentioned that his birthday was this Friday, and Corey was here, and he was like, "How old are you gonna be?" And Planky was like, "Well, I'm gonna be," and first and foremost, we can't believe that Planky is years old.
Yeah.
Like, we don't. I mean, it's possible, but the dude looks like a child.
Oh.
He does. He's got a full beard and long hair, but, like, even still with all the facial hair and the hair,
right.
Like, he's just got this childlike look about him, and I know damn well if he were to ever shave, he would look like a child. Just straight child.
Oh, wow.
So, apparently the Planky genes are very good. Ladies, if you...
No.
So,
Just
anyways,
pimp him out.
happy birthday to Planky. Also, we want to give a warm and speedy recovery to Mr. Brown, who had emergency gallbladder surgery this past week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everything went well, I assume?
Yes, actually, he can. Mr. Dr. Cookie could prescribe you a case of Oreos.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
2 joints beforehand, though.
That's who you were supposed to pick up last week.
Oh, gotcha.
Hi, Hootis. Yeah.
That's funny.
When you didn't come to
Oops.
my fire.
Well, if I had known...
No. So, anyways, and one of the other things that we're talking about tonight actually took place at the fire. But yeah, so we sat in my backyard and we burned some wood and we just sat and drank and smoked and had a good time. That's all we ever do. So if you get an invite, understand it's not going to be the social event of the year, but you're going to be happy you came.
Or sad. Either way, depends on Odd's mood.
Nah, nobody's ever left here sad.
No, everybody's always left laughing.
Yeah.
They do.
It's because we show them pictures of Mr. Dr. Cookie's dick.
Hey.
No, one of the other things, though, is while we were talking, we mentioned that I'm getting the second vaccine dose tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, of course, the joke has always been is I'm going to get superpowers.
You can hope, but
Right.
you're probably going to get a twitchy arm.
Well, maybe. That's my superpower.
I can move it at the speed of light.
Yeah, someone had asked, like, what superpower would I hope to get? And I was like, I've been thinking about this, and I think I've come down to the perfect superpower. It's not going to make me a hero in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
And used wisely, I could be a very formidable villain.
Okay.
I want the ability to make I want the ability to shit other people's pants.
What?
I want the ability to shit other people's pants.
Like,
Welcome to my life.
make them shit themselves?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you going to shit in their pants?
Well, I could force myself, like, when you gotta poop. Like,
Yeah.
if you feel it. Like,
When you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah, in the beginning, you could just push like you were going to poop anywhere and have it deposited in someone else's pants. And as you learn to use the power, you could get them to shit their pants on command.
Like the brown note.
Yes. And further still, if you push it even further, you might be able to do it when you're not in the vicinity of people. Imagine seeing someone on TV and be like, yo, watch this. I'm going to rob a bank. You're going to give me every dollar in the safe, or everyone here is going to violently shit themselves.
Oh my God. That would actually be amazing.
Came up with the idea for the name, too. I'm going to call myself Shatman.
Shatman.
And when Planky heard this, Planky was like, why is this not a comic book? I would read this.
Played by William Shatner.
No, fuck that. No, that's too on the nose anyways. But yeah, he could kind of look like Batman and Mr. Hanky combined.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Just a brown lumpy suit
With bat wings.
and a cape that looks like toilet paper.
Oh. Fucked up part is I can picture it.
So yes, those are the things that we talk about at the fires. So that's what you're missing. Actually, there's content that usually comes from the fires because there's shit that goes on.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Maybe a little. Maybe subconsciously.
Shit happens.
Right. Often. We watched Loki. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Yes, I did.
I am calling it the multiverse primer for dummies. Because basically I think what they're doing is they're getting us used to the idea now. Like it's been touched upon in the previous
Kind of like
movies.
how they've done with Aliens.
Yeah, they're showing us the way now.
Yeah.
This is what's going on.
Basically just getting us used to it.
Yeah. Did you catch the Agent Carter Easter egg?
Carter.
Peggy Carter?
No,
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah. It's real quick. If you weren't watching in the background, if you weren't like taking in the scenery of where they're at while they're talking, you would have completely missed it. So
Okay.
I was at work whenever I was watching
Yeah.
it, so...
Derek, you know the point where he finally gets the button?
Yeah, when he gets the button.
And he teleports and he puts him in the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay, that doorway that opens up that he gets
Mhm.
about for a second, Peggy Carter's being escorted through that doorway.
Oh, okay.
So I like the TVA. The TVA is an interesting concept for the comics, and I'm glad that they've brought it into the MCU. We'll see how big of a part they play later on.
Yeah.
But the TVA directly links to Thor and Jane Foster and Wanda, as well as I'm going to assume Doctor Strange, because Multiverse of Madness and what they've explained already about what happened the last time with the multiverse.
I mean, but at the same time, didn't the Avengers already fuck everything up by going back in time to get the stones?
Yeah, you would think, but it was all explained. Apparently, according... spoilers.
It was supposed to happen.
Yeah, it was supposed to. Certain things that muck with time are supposed to happen, and certain things that muck with time are not supposed to happen, and that's where the TVA steps in.
Right.
So, anyways, Loki's only going to have 6 episodes.
Yeah, and they're going to do it 1 week at a time.
Mm-hmm. But that's good because it stretches it out and leads us to the next thing.
Yeah.
Like, they've basically been breadcrumbing. And this really does open up the door for that What If series as well. What?
Wanda, at the end of that, had a lot of what ifs.
Well, kinda. If you don't know the Scarlet Witch's story and Wanda's story, yeah, sure. Wanda, you're probably not going to see Wanda again for a while.
No.
Wanda's off in the cabin learning how to be the Nexus being that she is. And the Nexus is something that is talked about in Loki. I'm telling you, anyone that's going to watch the series Loki, you're going to want to watch it probably 2 or 3 times, because there's going to be a ton of shit that it looks like they're trying to push through to get us ready for what's coming in the later movies.
Or could it be like a Simpsons thing to where we're figuring out what's going to happen in the future?
No, I don't think they'll necessarily go that route. That doesn't seem to be Marvel style, to show you what's coming and then lead you there. I think it's little bits here and there, and I think the TV shows are there to carry us through and start explaining elements that are coming in the movies.
Yeah, because even the Captain America show, it showed everything that happened right
Captain
after
America
Cap
is now
died.
Sam Wilson.
Yep.
And but yeah, so I believe that they're going to use the Loki show as a multiverse primer to get the viewing audience used to the idea. Yeah, they're going to go subatomic. They're going to jump into different realities, different timelines.
Yeah.
I mean, they're basically opening up the superhero and superhero comic book bag of tricks, and here it is.
But in a sense, they're kind of feeding through following DC as well.
No, DC is playing catch up.
DC's Legends.
Marvel did it too. DC in their movie universe has been playing catch up. DC's TV series have not caught up to the movies at all. DC's TV universe is completely separate for the most part. They've just recently, with the Flash, had him zip into the TV show briefly. And that's setting up for the Flash movie, because I believe the Flash movie is going to be Flashpoint. I think they're going to just jump right in.
They might. That was a good cartoon, though, whenever they did the Flashpoint in the cartoon.
Mm-hmm. It's a good story. It's a fucking crazy story to try to jumpstart your whole fucking universe with, because you've had a couple of false starts. But it, again, is a good story.
As it should be.
So, anyways, if you haven't seen Loki yet, watch it. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to watch each episode probably 2 or 3 times to catch everything.
Yeah. Just about 2 or 3. Maybe a 4th if you really liked it. I'd watched it 4 or 5 times.
Well, that's because you watched it while you're at work and you miss everything.
This is true. So I got to make sure that I catch all of it. Not just bits and pieces. Oh, no, I always hear. I just don't see.
Was talking with Corey earlier today. He recently rewatched Rubber.
Rubber?
You've never seen Rubber?
I have not.
Oh, my God.
I apologize for the movie he's going to make you watch now.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch Rubber.
You're going to hate it.
Nah, maybe.
Oh, joy.
Rubber is about a killer tire.
Did you say a killer tire?
Yep.
Is this like
with
the baby of the killer car?
No, with tele and psychokinetic powers.
Artemis.
What the hell? No, no.
The entire opening scene of the movie explains the whole rest of the movie. It's so great. It's if you take it for what it is a terrible movie.
I mean, it's a tire.
If you listen to the subtext of what they're telling you, because it's the entire movie takes place from people watching the movie happen.
I don't know about that.
It is a really good movie. I promise you of that. But he watched it recently, and then because he was high on psychedelics,
sounds like a good time.
Amazon auto started the next movie, and he ended up watching a movie called Lamageddon. And it's one on my watch list that I haven't gotten to yet.
Okay.
And he said it is one of the single worst movies he has ever seen. He's like, it's fucking great because of how bad it is. Which means I'm going to love it because I love movies for how bad they are.
Have you ever seen, I believe it's Bad Trip?
Yes.
Amazing movie.
Yeah, because that was Lord of the Rings director. Fuck, what was his name? Anyways, that was his first movie.
Really?
No, I'm thinking Bad Taste. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, this one's on Netflix. It just came out.
Yeah, Bad Taste. I don't have Netflix.
Ah, okay. We'll see about getting you set up.
Yeah, but Bad Taste was what I was originally thinking of. And that is a fucking terrible-ass movie as well. Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson. That's the fucking name that I couldn't think of. So yeah, I actually have a bunch of friends that's our thing. Like we love terrible movies, just horrible. Like we will sit and watch them. Plus, I watched Joe Bob Briggs' Last Drive-In on Friday nights. Well, technically we watch it Sundays, but it airs Fridays at the same time that I do.
I've never even heard of that one.
It's on Shudder.
Don't have it.
Yeah, it's all horror movies. It's all horror related.
Oh.
So like if you're not into horror movies, I get it, but if you are, it's totally worth the $50 for the whole year that it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Friday nights for 10 weeks, Joe Bob Briggs hosts a show called The Last Drive-In, where they show a double feature of horror movies. Some you may have seen before, some you may not have.
Okay.
And he's a horror host, so like instead of the normal like goofy costume shtick or whatnot,
Yeah.
what Joe Bob does is he gives you facts. He gives you like tidbits and behind the scenes stories and like the history of certain filmmakers and whatnot. Like it's more of a lesson about the films that you're watching,
Okay.
than anything else. It's really good. And then there's Darcy the Mail Girl, which Ollie absolutely loves for all the wrong reasons.
Should I check that one out?
What, Darcy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I can pull it up here while I'm talking. But Joe Bob had a show years ago on TNT called Monster Vision. And he's
I
had
feel like I've heard of that or seen it
late
before.
night TNT.
Yeah.
Monster Vision was usually a double feature of horror movies as well.
Okay.
I don't know. I love Joe Bob, but then again, I also love random fucking trivia and Joe Bob's informative intercuts. They cut into each movie like 6 times.
Okay.
And sometimes they have guests, which they'll talk to, like people that were in the movie.
Okay.
This season they had Bruce Campbell. They've had the guy from Reanimator that played Herbert West.
No idea.
I know his name, but I can't think of it right now because I'm a fucking idiot. That's Darcy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Love you, babe.
But Joe Bob is a cool show to watch if you like random movie knowledge and sitting through possibly some terrible horror movies, because they'll crack jokes on them too.
Speaking of terrible horror movies,
you're in one right now.
Have you watched the new Chucky movie?
Which new Chucky movie are you talking about?
The newest one.
The one where they he's animatronic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Logical step if they wanted to reboot the series.
Really?
Yep. Logical step. You got to remember, when Child's Play first came out, that was during the Satanic Panic days.
Yeah.
It's where everybody was worried about the devil and witchcraft and all this stuff.
My mom took me and my sister to watch the original Child's Play. We each had a good guy doll.
Yeah.
She threw hers out, I kept mine.
I had a My Buddy doll.
Ah.
Yeah, and after I saw that movie, my mom told me every night after I went to bed, about 10 minutes after I went to bed, she'd hear thud, and then my door slam.
Oh, shit.
And so it was me throwing the damn doll out every night.
Oh, shit.
But, so yeah, when Child's Play was originally made, the whole voodoo thing completely worked and was believable. Yeah, I use air quotes for that. But completely worked and was on point with what people were afraid of at that point.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you're going to reboot the Child's Play series, it was a logical jump for it to be less about a voodoo story and more about a rogue AI that got reprogrammed. Because think about the times that we're in now.
Yeah. I wholly believe that robots are going to take over at one point.
Well, wouldn't surprise me. But, again, if you're taking about a killer doll, you're going to take it and put it in the time frame that people are actually scared of. So I don't mind so much. Yes, it's a departure from the voodoo and craziness that was the original Child's Play movies, but I believe that it's okay. I didn't have a big problem with it. The movie itself wasn't that bad either.
There was a couple parts that I was like, but when I seen him with the boyfriend, what he did to the boyfriend, I was like, okay, that's I like that. That's pretty cool.
You got to remember, for most of that movie too, Chucky thought he was being protecting.
He did.
Like that's it. Like, for most of it, he thought he was doing what he was supposed to. He was only doing what he saw.
He was learning.
Yes.
And unfortunately learning the wrong things.
Right. Because in the factory, it had a different program uploaded, and then the safety restrictions were removed.
Right.
Like, all the safety protocols were disabled. So this thing was free to learn and behave, however it learned to behave.
Yeah. The only part that they fucked up on was watching that horror movie with the doll. Because that's when it all started.
Yeah, kinda. Remember, he was pretty vicious right out of the gate, though.
Yeah. The cat.
So, and it was all because the cat scratched the boy.
Yep. I wish this thing was dead.
And Chucky was like, okay. I got you, fam.
Right.
So, yeah, that's the thing, too, is like, me with movies, like, I'm not hyper critical of a lot of them. There are just certain genres that hold no interest to me. You know, like romance and all the mushy stuff, I get, but it's just rehashed over and over again.
I mean, if it's like a romance comedy,
maybe.
Yeah.
It's still
but
like,
I can't do all that super mushy ones.
But, you know, horror
we watch
movies,
them to keep our women happy.
She can be mad. And she could be mad. But no, like, for the most part, I watch the movies to just take them as they are. Like, sure, there's expectations and stuff that I would like to see, but for the most part, you know, I take it as it is. There's a few that I'm upset at. Spider-Man 3 and also Spider-Man Far From Home. are two that I'm very upset at because I feel like it was a big fuck you to what they could have done.
Aren't they? Wait, isn't Far From Home the one where they're doing the multiverse with all of them?
It's where it's the idea of it started, like where they talked about it. But so how they handled
was that the cartoon one?
No, that was the movie.
Okay,
but you're thinking of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
No, Spider-Man Far From Home was the one that had Jake Gyllenhaal in it as Mysterio. And they just completely gave a huge middle finger to the storyline because it was a bait and switch, kind of how they did with the Mandarin in Iron Man. And then kind of how they did when they brought Venom into Spider-Man 3, and they just kind of shoehoorned it in and didn't give it the respect or that it deserved.
I mean, hell, it had like a month worth of episodes whenever it was coming out of Venom slowly working through everything.
So, I mean, and it's just because I felt gypped. That's it. That's all. I feel that they took a misstep with the storyline. So I won't go back and watch those if I don't have to.
Only if you don't have to.
Well, because there are certain points, like I've gone through and watched all of the Marvel movies. Boom, 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 boom. You know.
Yeah.
And maybe eventually later on down the line when there are more new ones, I'll go through and put the story together. What I like is waiting too to see who manages to put them together in the chronological order that you're supposed to watch them.
Yeah.
Rather than the order of release.
I did that with Mrs. Cookie. She had never watched any of the Marvel movies. And we went through how they're supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
And
story-wise.
Yep. And she's hooked. When Falcon came out, I couldn't watch it without her.
Good.
Or else I got in trouble.
There's one series, I haven't done it in forever, and I'd like to go back and do it again, but I don't own the movies. It's the Puppet Master series. I'd like to watch it in the proper order. Because you could watch Puppet Master 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and keep going.
Yeah.
But there is a correct order for the story because they jump back and forth quite a bit through different points.
Right.
So, yeah, I'd like to go back and watch those in the correct order.
I was a Hellraiser person.
Hellraiser was okay. You know, it just, I don't know, for whatever reason, didn't grab me.
Hellraiser, Freddy, and Jason.
Well, yeah.
Those were my main ones that I loved watching.
All right, we're going into our first break here in the next few minutes. And when we get back, we're going to get a little more serious because there's something that I want to talk about. Kind of an extension of some of the shit that we were talking about last week, which, by the way, I got a ton of good feedback on. So thank you for everyone who listened or subscribed to the YouTube channel or actually gave me the feedback on the episode. I was very nervous talking about real things as opposed to cracking jokes all the time. And I think I've decided I'm going to do that probably once a month, or I'm going to give that pressure release valve more throughout that regular show, and maybe still do a specific one show a month where it's one show a month where I'm just stripped down and it's just me and I'm telling you what I think. We'll see how that goes. Also, too, I did a thing.
Took a second shit.
I did a thing so you guys can take a shit. So there is now something that I am referring to as the Odd Pod Fun Time Hotline. And you all, the listeners, can leave me a voicemail. You can leave Odd or anyone else on the show a voicemail by giving us a call at 734-407-7674. And I actually have a voicemail that was left.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
And so we're going to play that a little bit later in the show. So if you are so inclined, you can leave the Odd Pod a message on our Fun Time Hotline at 734-407-7674, and the area code or the 1 goes in front of that if you're calling from overseas. or out of the country.
Yeah, there's some weird-ass phone numbers outside of our country.
Well, at any rate, you won't get to us directly, but you can leave us a message, and you can talk about whatever you want, and, if we like it enough, maybe it'll get onto the show.
Please do.
You're going to get music from Snatch the Snail, Smileyfoot, and the Chinchillionaires. That's right. Some of them don't take the artist name when they populate here, so I have to go look, but I know I looked earlier, and that is the Chinchillionaires. You're going to get Fuckboy, Everybody Goes Where Everybody Goes from Smileyfoot, and You Won't Need It from the Chinchillionaires. And the first song is by Snatch the Snail. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Odd Pod on tapdetroit.com, and we hope you stick around. If you don't, we understand.
Now it's time for the Odd Pod's Patreon shout-out. Big thanks to Justin Burnside for becoming a patron. We hope you enjoy our long, uncut and girthy episodes until you're fully satisfied and left shaking from laughter. For everyone else, you can join our Patreon too. Just head to patreon.com/theoddpod. Become a patron and reap the benefits today.
Are you tired of incense that stinks? Motor City Candleworks is Metro Detroit's #1 source for premium handmade incense, as well as hand sanitizer and now massage oil, with a wide array of scents inspired by Michigan cities and attractions. You're sure to find a fragrance that'll keep your love of the mitten burning all year round. Head to MotorCityCandleworks.com and order yours today. And make sure you find them on Facebook, too, for all of their upcoming sales and events. Motor City Candleworks. Michigan handmade scents that just make sense.
That smell. The kind of smelly smell.
This just in. It seems the entire planet is being overtaken by a force unlike anything we've ever seen before. Its tentacles reach across the entire globe, from Beijing to Boston, from Moscow to Madrid. There seems to be no escaping its influence. It seems life as we know it will be forever changed now that the Odd Pod has arrived. To stay up to date on all developments, and we're urging that you stay informed, you can hear the latest information about the Odd Pod by searching for it on all major podcasting platforms. Remember, we can only be as safe as we are vigilant.
Sapphire blue. If I didn't have my pistol, wouldn't know what to do. Shooting slipping a rope round my neck. And they say you won't need it, not where you're going. And they say you won't feel it, that you'll be dead by the morning. And tell the devil hello. It was a Kansas City woman put a hole in my heart, and I swore that there was nothing gonna tear us apart. I bought a little land, put a ring on her hand, but she went and fell in love with a rambling man. I didn't see it coming like a shot in the dark, and she never really loved me, I was only a mark. I said, release my heart from this hell that I'm in. She said, please, you won't need it, you're the shell of a man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I got a bone to pick, and it's something that I've been seeing that's aggravated me a little bit. And I remember Cookie here, he earlier in the week, he was like, I'll be able to make it Friday. What are the topics? Just tell me what we're talking about. And my exact response is, I don't know, I just got to wait and see what pisses me off this week.
Yeah, you did.
And I've got other shit here that it's more fun when you don't know what it is.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I was dead on. Something pissed me off this week, and it's not so much pissed off. It's irritated me.
Okay, what has irritated the odd?
So I've seen a bunch of businesses lately posting, we apologize, we're short-staffed, things like that. They're making they're apologizing to the customer base.
Yeah.
Why?
They feel bad that they can't help.
Why? They're doing everything that they can, correct?
Yeah, they are.
And there has been a pandemic and there is a labor shortage, correct? People know this. This isn't news. This is widely known.
Yeah, we definitely are in a labor shortage.
So what I'm going to say is that the businesses need to stop kissing the customer's ass, because this is part of that customer is always right bullshit, and they got nothing to apologize for in my book.
True.
The way that I have seen, you got to remember, I do DoorDash, so I'm out in the public way more than anyone ever should be. The way that the customer base has been treating all of these businesses is fucking sickening. It's ridiculous. You got to understand, shit's still trying to get caught up. Just because somebody on the news waved a magic wand and said, COVID's over, That doesn't mean everything's gone magically back to normal.
Right. I don't expect it to go back to normal for at least a couple years.
I don't expect there to be normal again.
We'll have a new normal.
But what I've been seeing is I touched on this in the 3-hour version of the show last week. Is I've been seeing people at the drive-through box screaming at the fucking workers in the fast food places, because they're out of this or they're taking too long or whatnot. Stop that. I want to do away with the mindset in retail and in every other service industry that the customer is always right, because the customer is not always right. The customer is there because they desire a service you provide. That is it. The power balance is very much skewed to the customer side, and it shouldn't be. Because why? Because the customer might go somewhere else? Let them go somewhere else.
I mean, they need to start understanding that no matter if it's a warehouse type company, a fast food place, whatever, we're not always getting all the shit that we need, what we should have had delivered already.
And especially right now, everything's fucked, top to bottom. There's shortages supposedly popping up here and there. Look at the fucking price of lumber.
Because there's these people out here that are doing shit just so they can get fired to collect the unemployment and get more than what they were making.
Right? And who do you blame at that point?
The government.
Why?
I blame the companies. They could pay their workers more.
I can't argue with that.
Because, let's be honest, the more that they're making on unemployment isn't like miles of difference between what could be in their paycheck and what is in their paycheck. We're talking a very short gap. Maybe an extra $100 a week.
An extra $100 means they don't have to deal with those customers being bitches.
So look at it this way: the max that most people were getting during the pandemic was like $600 a week. Okay,
on top of whatever they get normally.
No, that was with the normal and the extra.
Oh,
yeah, it was about $600.
Yeah, that depending. I mean, it could have been more if they were. Yeah,
it depends on the state
and how you were paid originally.
Right. Well, there's the other thing though. There was still a max cap that you were going to hit, and it wasn't that much realistically.
Yeah, I know. Right now, it's I believe an extra $600 on top of whatever you would normally get.
You're still talking like $740.
Yeah, because
a lot of people are getting normal like $300. So,
there's
I mean,
a lot of situational. Average
the most
most
people were getting was about 600 and some odd dollars a month or a week. Okay. Yeah. When I did it, because I did it based on Arizona and I did it based on Michigan, because I had to go through the unemployment process myself.
Right.
And what it came down to was, it was a matter of $30 to $80 extra a week that most people were getting.
Okay.
So we're not talking about a large gap here.
Yeah.
And the big thing though, that is by getting the unemployment, they didn't have to deal with the workplace bullshit. They didn't. They got to keep their lights on.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to deal with somebody who didn't get laid last night and wanted to take it out on everybody.
It was a well-needed mental break.
So the thing that we have to realize is that the current employment system is toxic as fuck.
It is.
There are people out there that are happy with their jobs, and whatnot, and they've got a good situation.
Yeah.
But most of us work in a toxic as fuck environment. They don't care about you. You're just a number.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're there late and there whenever they need you, when you need time. You don't fucking matter. So you have, if we're going to talk the unemployment, the blame doesn't go on the government. The blame goes on the companies themselves for not taking better care of their employees in the first place. All the government, in my opinion, did is step in to make sure that when everything was shut down, everybody was taken care of.
Yeah, I can agree on that.
And they extended it even further so everybody was able to pay their day-to-day bills. Some people were still behind.
Yeah.
Sometimes the unemployment that they got still wasn't enough. They treaded water.
Yeah.
So they extended it, and I understand that there was the moratorium on evictions. I think anyone that didn't bother to pay their rent during that time was kind of silly.
Yeah.
You put yourselves into a hole. I know you thought it was free money, but you were still supposed to be responsible with it.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm getting at now is this customer always right shit? No. Fuck that. If you act like an asshole, I shouldn't, because I'm in a retail job, have to kiss your ass. And not at all.
100%.
You should not even expect to be able to get away with that behavior inside of a business.
I used to work at a couple different restaurants.
Well, that's how we met.
Yeah. One of which, yes, I delivered pizza.
Yeah.
But like at Arby's, whenever I was younger, I was working at one, and there was one person who threw change at one of the employees and wanted to keep yelling and pulling a Karen move.
I'd have been fired that day.
All we did, shut the doors, locked them up, shut the window, and let her sit. She was the only one in the drive-thru, so we didn't give a fuck.
Let's see what happens if she wasn't at that point.
Yep. Call the police and have them move her.
What you're seeing a lot of, too, now is there are people that are vaccinated and are still choosing to wear the mask. Because they realized, hey, I didn't get as sick last year, too. On top of not catching COVID, I didn't get as sick.
Right.
And there are people that when you're in your mask in public, they start shit with you for no reason.
Yeah, I've seen it.
There's no reason for it. And when businesses have dictated that they require you to wear the mask to enter the premises, they've put it on the door.
Yeah, always.
You're choosing to be an instigator at that point because you know, for the most part, a lot of businesses are going to lean on the customer is always right. They're going to try to kiss your ass a little bit.
Yeah.
No. Fuck that. Stop it. The customer is not always right, and it's a business practice that needs to be done away with. If you act like a civil human being, you're going to be treated like a civil human being.
Act like a Karen, get talked to like a Karen.
And I don't understand. That's what I said. I don't understand why these businesses feel the need to apologize. They have nothing to apologize for, in my opinion. They're doing the best they can with what they've got. And if it takes a little bit longer for me to get my food, cool. I get it. I know what's going on. I go through for DoorDash.
Yeah.
And, I'm always trying to be nice to the person when they come on the speaker. Like, hey, would you like to try blah, 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 blah. Like, no, I'm here with DoorDash. Or, usually it's like, hey, good afternoon.
Right.
I'm with DoorDash. I'm picking up for X. And,
right.
And when they say, okay, pull to the window, I say thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything all that major. And who knows, it might not even fucking matter to them, but I want to not be one of the people that's like, over a fucking cheeseburger.
That just makes you look stupid.
Too many people are anal retentive on all that.
I had an order when I was at White Castle the other day, and I actually went in because they left me sitting there 10 minutes past the pickup time.
Okay.
No nothing. Had me pull out of line and made me sit and wait, and I was sitting there and I was looking at it. I went in and I was frustrated.
Got a crave case, didn't they?
Yeah, I was frustrated. I was looking at them, and when I walked in there was 6 or 7 of them behind the counter. Now I really don't understand why it's taking so fucking long.
Yeah, there's normally supposed to be at least 2 people on the grill at all times.
Yeah, so I got up there and I was like, hey, the DoorDash order, you've left me sitting, it's hot out there. You've left me sitting there for 10 minutes. I'm 10 minutes past my pickup time. You got to remember, I don't get paid by the hour. I get paid by the run, so the faster I can get it, what's taking so long?
Yeah.
And they looked and it was like, it's not ready yet. And I was like, I understand that it's not ready yet. It's not in my hands. I'm not going out the door.
Right.
Why is it not ready yet? Can you give me an idea on how long it's going to take? And the person looked at someone in the back and looked back at me and was like, yeah, it's not ready yet. And I was like, you know what? There's 6 of you, and if you can't get this done, I'm just going to drop the order. So can you get it out to me, like, within the next 2 to 5 minutes? And they just ignored me, and I was like, all right, that's it. And I dropped the order, because I'm not going to sit there.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you at all.
So rude.
I gave him a little bit of shit. I will admit that. Like, just
Was it the one over by Mom's?
Michigan Avenue.
The one right after...
By Red Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other place I won't go is that McDonald's that's there on Wayne Road and Palmer.
Okay.
Right by the State Farm and the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
I will not go to that McDonald's.
One egg McMuffin, and they left us sitting there for 45 minutes.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Not kidding.
They are terrible.
Oh my god.
And it doesn't matter what time of day you go, what shift you get, they're terrible.
The worst part is the shake machine is always down.
Well, that's standard for most McDonald's.
Yeah.
But no, this customer is always right. Bullshit. They need to just do away with that and start putting these fucking pissy-ass customers in their place. If someone's going to give you shit because you're doing the best you can in the middle of the tail end of something that just affected everybody's life, they can go fuck.
Yeah. They'll learn one way or another.
That's my irritation for this week is...
Fuck you, Karen.
Yeah, fuck the customer's
you,
always
Karen.
right. Yeah, fuck you, Karen. That might be the title of this show. We'll have to get creative because, YouTube and other places won't like it. But
I got a brother that is a Karen.
That's terrible. No, those are called marks.
Okay, fine. He is a mark.
Yeah.
This man went to Costco 14 years ago, bought a treadmill, used it for 14 years, took it back, and was such a mark, he got full price back for it.
What?
Customer's always right.
Yep. Fucking mark.
No. That is not behavior that you should expect to be able to exhibit and get away with.
But he got away with it.
Yeah. I miss the old days where you could just punch somebody in the mouth.
And not get arrested?
Yeah. Because there are some people walking around that you can tell have never been punched in the fucking mouth.
And they need it.
Badly.
I work with one.
That's terrible.
I'm sorry for the loss.
For the past 2 months, this man used to be one of the most outgoing, cheerful kind of guys. Like, he'll go out of his way to make sure to say hi to you. These last few months, I've wanted to punch him in the face because he is nothing but Debbie Downer.
Who just said a male Karen is called a Richard? Nah, I like Mark. Mark fits. Mark fits for a different reason, though.
Yeah, but I mean Richard, Dick.
Yeah. All right, so for those of you that are listening to the fun size version, this is going to be where your trip on this journey ends. However, if you are so inclined and would like to hear more, plus catch all of the backlogs in their entirety, you can go to patreon.com/The Odd Pod and join our Patreon. It's $5 a month, and you get access to all of the archives. You get a shout out each episode. And you also get a 10% off coupon code for Motor City Candleworks for your purchases.
They don't get nothing special from you, though?
You might get a nude.
No.
He'll send you feet pics.
No. But at higher tiers, you do get access to certain perks that we do through the Discord.
Okay.
You could actually talk to me through the Discord if you so choose. And remember, we do have that fun time hotline. We talked about that earlier. You can give that a call and leave us a voicemail at 734. Oh my God, I lost the fucking page.
It's probably all the way up.
Yeah, I went too far. I was trying to be. No? Where the... It just disappeared.
It did. It really fucking did.
Wow. That's pretty good. Sweet. Anyways... Go fuck Facebook. No, I've got to do it this way, probably. Yeah,
there we go.
734-407-7674. In fact, when we come back from the break that we're about to take, you're going to hear the voicemail that was left, and we're going to talk about it, because somebody was asking for some advice.
Oh.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Thanks for checking out the Odd Pod. If you want to hear the whole show, consider becoming a patron of our Patreon.
Head to patreon.com/The Odd Pod. We're also all over social media like an STI that won't wash off. Head to tapdetroit.com/The Odd Pod to follow us today. We're already following you, and you forgot to buy milk.